Hello distinction students, welcome to today's commerce session. So today we're looking at home trade, where we're going to look at the retail trade. But before I get into that, remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel for more sessions. So we'll start by first defining what home trade is. So home trade is the buying and selling of goods and services within a particular country. Then now, how do we define retail? So retailing is the buying and selling of goods and services in small quantities. So when we look at the features of home trade, it deals with exchange of goods and services within a particular country. Trade is carried out by wholesalers and retailers. Transactions are usually done using the local currency. Home trade operates on relatively small amounts of capital compared to foreign trade, transport and railway transport, most common forms of transport. We look at the functions of a retailer. So, the first one is it breaks the bulk. So, when a retailer buys in bulk, they separate things, or they buy things in bulk and break them down to smaller things, right? To provide a variety of goods to customers, to display goods in a retail shop, to offer credits to trusted customers, to give guidance to customers, especially on new goods, to provide a local supply to customers, to price goods before sale to customers, to package goods before the sale to customers, to advertise his or her shop to the public, right? So, we're going to look at the factors to consider before putting up a retail business. So the first one we're going to talk about is the capital. So when you want to start up a retail business, you have to know the money that is involved, the capital that you need in order for you to determine the type of business you're going to do. So when putting up a shop, you ensure that there is enough capital available. The amount of capital will determine the size of the shop that you want to open, right? When we look at location, so when choosing your location of the retail, you have to ensure the location where you're going. Are there customers? Is it a business area? You need to put that in mind when looking for the location for your shop. Then the third one, when we talk about experience, the person intending to open the retail needs to have knowledge about the shop they're opening. Is it a grocery shop? How is the grocery shop run? Is it a boutique? How do you run a boutique? So you, as a person trying to open up this shop, you need to ensure you have an idea of how to run that business. Number 4, we'll look at the method of sale. So you need to consider the sale, the type of sale that you want, the type of selling method that you want. Do you want the customers to come over the counter for self-services? Do you accept credit, or you only want cash in your shop? You need to put that in place. Number 5, we'll look at the name of a shop. So you need to ensure that your shop has a name, because a name is what attracts customers, right? So you need to make sure your name is eye-catching, right? And it's very easy to remember. Then number 6, we look at goods for sale. So you need to look at the type of business. Like when you open your shop, you need to know the market that's involved in that particular area where you're opening your business. You need to ensure, is what I'm going to be selling marketable? Is it going to profit me? Like, are people going to be buying? And then when you look at number 7, methods of advertising, you need to look at the method of advertising. How you put your packaging. Does it attract your customers? Number 8, to look at safety measures. You need to ensure your money is safe in that shop that you have opened. Is your money safe? You need to make sure you have an insurance in case of any losses, in case of any damage of goods, so at least you have an insurance where if anything happens, you'll be funded to start your business again, right? Then number 9, there's legal requirements. You need to make sure your business is well registered, right? You need to protect the health of your employees. You need to ensure their safety and welfare, right? Then number 10, price of goods. you need to ensure you put a price in a very good margin, which will also bring profit to you. People in that locality able to buy the amount of goods that you are selling. How is the pricing? You also have to consider all that. So let us look at the characteristics of small retailers. So they are owned by one person. So when you talk about small retailers, these are people who maybe, for example, I as an individual, I wake up and say I want to start a business alone, without nobody involved, without a second party or a third party, but just me alone. So they have limited capital, hence they cannot afford to advertise on national level. Like, because it's a small shop and you're a small retailer, meaning you can't advertise your products, let's say maybe on newspaper, on televisions or radio. So they cannot employ highly skilled workers to run the business, meaning at least you can only sell in that shop alone, or maybe your relative will be helping you sell out. You can't manage to employ people because remember, it's a small retail and you do not have enough profit or enough capital, right? They are located in townships or villages where rent and rates are cheaper. So for you as a small retailer, you ensure that you put a shop, or maybe you rent a shop that's affordable, that you can manage. So it basically would be in your area or just somewhere where you can afford, right? They open business for longer hours. So when you have your own shop, people like open their shops up to somewhere 22 hours, 21 hours, because basically that shop is within your locality. It's different when it's located in town, because these big wholesalers, they have time limit. Let's say maybe they say 17 hours will stop working, right? So the other one that we're going to look at is they offer personal service to customers. They do not provide customer facilities such as car parks, restaurants, and filling stations. So these small shops in our locality don't have car parks, right? So let us look at the advantages of small retailers to retailers. So they require small amount of capital. That's an advantage. At least you don't have to start with big capital. You can use small capital to start up your business. It is easy to run. Flexibility type of business in terms of operation. They give customers personal attention. They are properly licensed. Operational costs are lower, right? Because you don't need to put in a lot of capital. You just need to have a certain amount to start up from somewhere, right? There are less legal formalities required to be observed. So let us now look at the disadvantages of small retailers to retailers. So they lacks capital for expansion. Like we said, like when starting up this small retail, you only have small capital for you to start it, and hence it will be hard for you to get a lot of profit in order to expand your business. It deals in limited amounts of goods offered to customers. Some small retails can't have a lot of things, so maybe they buy a few things, right? Cannot compete favorably with large scale retailers. So for when you talk about large scale, we say these people, maybe there's 2 people or 3 people involved with a lot of capital, and then you in a small retail, you're just like an individual, so you can't compare to them, right? Small scale retailers have unlimited liability, meaning they are legally responsible for all the debts against the business, right? So what are the advantages of small scale retailers to customers? The shop remain open for longer hours even on a public holiday. Since it's just a small retail shop in your locality, you can even open it even if it's a public holiday. But most of these big wholesales in town, they are closed when there's a public holiday, right? They offer a variety of goods to customers. Personal service may be offered to customers. Retailers may offer credit facilities to known and trusted customers. So meaning small retailers, these ones can be able to give out goods on credit, right? Because it's in the locality. So you can't go to a wholesale and get things on credit. That's impossible. They sell in smaller quantities that customers can afford to buy. So let's look at the disadvantages of small retailers to customers. Goods are usually sold at a high price, right? That can be a disadvantage, right? Because even the people that are selling you in bulk also want to make profit from it, right? There is limited choice of goods. Usually they do not offer guarantees. So when you go to bigger companies, they give you a guarantee maybe for a year or some months. But then in a retail, there's nothing like offering guarantees. They can slow at saving. They are slow at saving customers, right? The goods they sell may not be fresh and sometimes expired products. So there are certain instances where you go to a small shop, right? Maybe they ordered bread 3 days ago and it's no longer fresh and they're still selling it. So some things are not fresh, and because people take long to buy these products, some may be expired, right? So let us look at the characteristics of a large retail, or rather, large retailers. So they have limited liability as they are run as companies. So when you talk about large retailers, these are maybe more than one people. It's like two people or more than two people, right? They usually buy goods in bulk direct from manufacturers at factory price. They enjoy discounts which are passed on to their customers by lowering their prices. They have their own transport and also provide warehouses. So these people that order from the actual manufacturers, the people that own like big wholesales, they have their own maybe trucks that transport their goods from the manufacturers. They also have warehouses where they buy things in bulk and store them in their warehouses. They have large capital investment and can afford to advertise on national scale. So these ones can be able to advertise their business on radios, on TVs, and newspapers because they have like a lot of money, right? They are mostly located in town centers and are able to employ qualified personnel. So advantages of large retailers to retailers. They enjoy economics of sale. They buy in bulk direct from the manufacturer at factory price. So when you talk about this, meaning these people are buying direct from the manufacturers and they're getting their goods at the factory price, meaning it's easier for them, right? They sell a variety of goods since they are buying in bulk, meaning if it's buying soap, it could be, let me give an example of different types of soap. They can get Boom, they can get Bullets, Sunlight, Mark, a lot of different types of soaps, right? They get things in variety. They are able to locate their shops in town centers and prime areas where there is good traffic of potential buyers. So these people make sure they have their shops in towns, in places where people can get to know them because they have the money to put their wholesales in expensive places or town centers, right? New technology enables them to remain competitive and provide accurate and timely information of goods. So, the disadvantage of large retailers to retailers. Most large retailers no longer offer personal services, right? Most large retailers do not offer delivery services and credit facility to customers. So, some wholesales do not provide a car that will transport your goods from them to your locality. And then again, you can't go to a wholesale and get things on credit. So that's a disadvantage because they don't offer credit. So let's say you don't have money, then it will be hard for you to continue with your business because you can never get things on credit. They only need cash there. Large capital is required to set up a business. So when you're looking at a large retail, meaning you're in groups of two or more. So hence there's a lot of money that is involved. Maybe probably you have more than one wholesale, right? You have to think about the rent where you've located your wholesale, right? Large retailers' shops become difficult to manage when they increase in number. Then high cost of overheads. So here, like you have high cost, like everything has to deal with a lot of money if it's transportation and maybe other goods involved. So we look at the advantages of large retail to customers. Usually, large-scale retailers give special offers to attract customers and result to lower prices. So sometimes when you're getting as a small retailer, you're trying to buy things from these large retailers, the price is more cheaper, right? Because you're buying them in bulk. Delivery facilities may be provided for customers' durable goods. So some wholesales may offer transportation, right? Customers can easily recognize their brands because they are similar outlets. Self-service in large retails makes it easy for customers to shop. We look at the disadvantages of large retailers to customers. There is less personal contact. No credit facility is offered, so you can never get your goods on credit. No delivery services is given to customers. A lot of these. Subscribe to my YouTube channel for more sessions.